I feel like the Lightning are who we thought they were. We talked about them a bit at the outset of the series, and you picked them to win. The only way that I saw them winning was if Andrei Vasilevsky was great.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrei Vasilevsky hasn't been great for this entire year. And, when you look at where the Lightning were coming into this series, it was during the regular season, largely powered by one line. Kucherov having an all-time year, just like an incredible year from Kucherov. Stamkos, 40 goals. Those guys mainly powering this team offensively. Not super great at 5-on-5. A lot of power play damage. Not great goaltending.
Yeah, I thought I had the Lightning to win this series just because they were. I don't want to say they limped to the end of the regular season, but like I just got some sort of sense of like, all right, this is one last fucking push for us. Obviously, Stamkos is in a walk year. They got cap situations coming up, and they're playing against a Panthers team that could theoretically be a little tuckered out from last postseason. So I thought it was going to be close, which it was. It was very close, not to go Rob Brindamore on everybody, but like by Corsi and everything, it was like dead even, 50-50. This was one of the closest series that's been played so far. So I'm not shocked that the Panthers won, because you go back to midway point of the season, I think we all expected the Panthers to come out of the East, but I had the Lightning here. I'm going to get proven wrong on a couple of these, though. I had the Jets beating the Avalanche as well.
Yeah, this series ended up being kind of what I thought that the Oilers-Kings series would be, which is like a pretty even series by the metrics, but like a 5-game gentleman's sweep.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case in the Oilers-Kings series. The Oilers are beating the shit out of the Kings.
Rocks.
With the exception of last game, the 1-0 game. But that's kind of where I ended up looking. This series I thought was pretty close. The Lightning probably deserved a little bit better, but I'm just surprised that they never got more from Vasilevsky. Like .896 save percentage in this series didn't really make a huge difference for them. I thought that if there was any guy on that team that could kind of flip a switch, it might be him.
The biggest difference maker for them in this series ended up being Steven Stamkos. 5 goals in 6 games, 6 points in 6 games. So you internet sleuths want to figure out how many helpers he had. You could do the math there, but 6 points in 6 games, 34 years old, free agent. He had 81 points in 79 games this season, 41 goals, 40 assists. Just something, 40 goals, 41 assists in 79 games. Still absolutely has it. Do you think that he's donezo in Tampa? People, they got very horny about, look, he's staying on the bench. He's staying on the bench, soaking all. It's in fucking Florida, you idiots. He's not fucking looking around the arena saying, gee, isn't this nice? He's waiting for his teammates to get off the ice. No offense, endearing.
They talked about Stamkos, that potentially being his last game with the Lightning, so fucking much last night that I'm now rooting for Steven Stamkos to not play for the Lightning next year, because that would be infuriating to spend that much time and only for him to re-sign. But I do think there's a significant possibility that Stamkos stays in Tampa.
Yeah, we've did this. There's been a couple of times throughout his career where we've been like, he's gone. He's re-signed with the team while feuding with them.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? I would not be shocked at all if he comes back.
There's 3 routes that he can go, right? It's he stays with the Lightning, he goes to another contending team, or he goes to a rebuilding team that can give him a bunch of money and he can play like a central leadership role. And I'm not ruling out the Lightning, because a lot of people have been talking about like, hey, is the Lightning window closed? Is this the official end of the dynasty? Like, I don't think that the Lightning are cooked. You look at like Kucherov, incredible year. Stamkos still very good. They spent most of this year without Sergachev, who is a very important player to them.
But you still have Hedman.
You still have Vasilevsky, who's probably going to have a bounce back year. I don't know if he was dealing with any sort of lingering injury or something, but like he wasn't the guy that we have come to expect. So like you have points great. You can retool if you're the Lightning. They need to bolster the depth to become kind of what they used to be. That might be a more difficult ask, but I certainly don't think that they're cooked. And that if you're Stamkos, you consider the legacy factor. Like, he has been one of the best Tampa Bay Lightning players of all time. I think that he probably doesn't want to go anywhere if he had the choice. Like Cooper said, like, we want him here. He wants to be here. So I think there's a possibility that he stays there. But if he goes to another contender, you're looking at a team like, I don't know if you want to throw like the Bruins in the mix for a guy like Stamkos. I don't know if you want to say, like, I saw the Predators thrown out there as a team that he could go to. The Sabres we've talked about, like, he could make a real difference there.
You're not saying the one I want for him.
Go on.
Give me the Hawks, baby.
That's not a contender. That's the third.
Give me the Hawks.
That's the third category. Like,
it is now.
Going to the Blackhawks would make a ton of sense. Like, leadership, scoring ability, can kind of shepherd Bedard. Like, they need good players. Another team that could be thrown into that category is the Anaheim Ducks. Like, the Anaheim Ducks, I think they need more help on the back end than they do in the forward group. But, like, you're talking about a team with cap space, a team, Alex Killorn's there, knows that guy pretty well. And finishing out your career in California on the beach, not bad.
The thing you said on the Lightning, I think folks need to realize, and maybe they do, the Lightning have the structure and the bones of a team that you can still plug people into, build around, and be an awesome team, more so than the Bruins do. And look what the Bruins have been able to do. They've been able to lose pieces like crazy. And what's their DNA? It's good goaltending, it's a couple of good defensemen, and it's a couple of good wingers. The Lightning have good goaltending, a couple of good defensemen, centers, an elite winger. Like, that is a better starting point than what the Bruins have. And granted, the Bruins are doing it on better contracts, but absolutely, you could just follow the Bruins thing and just say, yeah, we've got some guys, they're getting a little long in the tooth, but they all play the most important positions, and one of them is fucking Braden Point. So let's fucking go. They're not going anywhere. They're going to remain a playoff team, even if they lose Stamkos for, say, the next 3 years. You could take that to the bank.
I mean, I'm not ready to say that they're absolutely going to be a playoff team. Like, it depends on what happens. But like, you're also talking about the Leafs could look a lot different next year. Like, maybe we're not taking the Leafs super seriously in that division. So I think there's a lot in flux. I'm certainly not writing and signing their death certificate yet.
We all silly like the mayor.